Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurhakimah Husna binti Osman. Today, our groups will talk about the ASEAN Charter. Okay, let me move to the introduction. Do you know what is ASEAN Charter? Okay, let me explain a little bit about ASEAN Charter. ASEAN Charter is a constituent instrument of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. The members of ASEAN states have 10, which are Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. ASEAN Charter is functioned as a firm foundation in accomplishing the ASEAN community. It is functioned by giving lawful status and institutional framework or system for ASEAN. After that, the ASEAN Charter came into force on 15 December 2008. There is also a meeting of ASEAN Foreign Minister was held at the ASEAN Secretariat in Jakarta. That meeting was held to mark the historic event for ASEAN. Furthermore, with the enforcement of the ASEAN Charter, ASEAN from now on will be operate under new legitimate system framework and will establish new organizations to increase their community building process. After that, ASEAN Charter has become a legitimately official agreement between the 10 ASEAN member states, and it will also be registered with Secretariat of the United Nations as per Article 102, Paragraph 1 of the Charter of the United Nations. Okay, so let me move to another presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hanif Imran bin Ahmad Rushdi and I am going to explain the importance of the ASEAN Charter. ASEAN Charter plays a huge role in shaping what ASEAN is today. The first importance of the ASEAN Charter is recognizing ASEAN as a legal personality. A legal personality means that the organization can sue and be sued. This charter can make ASEAN to a legal person. A legal person can be defined by two means, which is the first one is natural person. There is a person when they are born, and the second one is an artificial person that are conferred legal personality by law, meaning there is an international organization that have a law to administer them. This can be seen that ASEAN falls in the second category, which is the artificial person. This will make ASEAN have a special power to sue and be sued, and will ASEAN held accountable for all treaties and agreements that the organization signed. For the charter to be effective, all the parliament in the participating countries of ASEAN must ratify it. The second importance of ASEAN Charter is changing the number of the Deputy Secretary General. Before this, the Deputy Secretary General number is only 2. But now, based on the ASEAN Charter, the Deputy Secretary General have increased to 2 more, so making it to be 4. Two of the Deputy Secretary General will be elected based on their alphabetical order of nomination that will serve as a 3-year term. So the Deputy General will be selected based on the country according to alphabetical order. The next 2 Deputy Secretary General will be nominated from an open recruitment whose 3-year term may be renewed for another. So if they serve in a 3-year term, they can be renewed for another 3-year term. However, despite all the rules before of the two Deputy Secretary Generals, or the 4 Deputy Secretary Generals and the Secretary General must all be in 5 different countries to ensure equal distribution of the position. The third importance of the ASEAN Charter is by increasing the number of meetings that the ASEAN organization have. Before this, the ASEAN organization only have 1 meeting per year, but based on the ASEAN Charter, the meeting will be turned into 2 meetings per year. The meeting agenda for the first meeting will be on discussing all the relation among ASEAN members on their community affairs, such as problems in terms of security, problems on regional affairs like the haze and the security problem among the region. Okay, the second meeting agenda is the ASEAN members will have a meeting with the ASEAN dialogue partners. Who are the ASEAN dialogue partners? In 2021, ASEAN have 10 dialogue partners, including countries like Australia, Canada, and China. This dialogue partner will focus more in securing technical and economical assistance to develop economies in ASEAN. This will promote a two-way trade between the ASEAN members and the dialogue partners. This will help the ASEAN members to increase their economic affairs and help in a bilateral relationship between 2 different countries. Other than that, they also focusing on discussing non-traditional issues such as terrorism and human trafficking.
Assalamualaikum and peace upon to you, to all my friends and to my lecturer. I'm Muhammad Taufik bin Kamal and I will explain to you about the parties involved in ASEAN Charter. Directly to the point, the one who amend, change or make the ASEAN Charter is the member state of ASEAN Regional Organization. Member state which is we have 10. Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Brunei, Indonesia, Philippines, Myanmar, Republic Laos, Vietnam, and also we have Cambodia. All these 10 members will be gathered in one country that have been chosen to discuss about the making, amend, change of ASEAN Charter. All they will be gathered in a summit which is called as ASEAN Summit. This summit was firstly introduced in 2008. Now in 2021, the number or the turn for the 37 times of ASEAN Summit. The summit will be held twice a year, which means there will be 2 times in a year for the ASEAN member state to discuss about the matter of the ASEAN regional problem, issue, or everything. The ASEAN Charter will be amended to make sure the stability or the security and also the peaceful harmony of the ASEAN region. Okay, next we will focus on the advantage of ASEAN Charter. ASEAN Charter for sure can maintain peace and harmony between ASEAN member states. With reviewing, changing, amending the ASEAN policy law based on current situation, issue and dispute. This can help to settle the problem between ASEAN member states and help the member states to keep their peace and harmony between this region. The next advantage of this ASEAN Charter is one day they want to amend the single market for ASEAN economic hub, such as Europe. In European Union, they already have their own currency to make sure the trading and economic in their region can run more smoothly between each member state. Lastly, the advantage of the ASEAN Charter, for sure it can build more cooperation between ASEAN member states, with always meeting, discussing and making an event program between each other. This can help to build the cooperation between each other in ASEAN region. Okay, evidence and method used to building cooperation. We can see the ASEAN SEA Games. There will be include all ASEAN member states to involve in the sport. With this, cooperation will be made. Other than that, the ARF policy, this also can building the cooperation and understanding between each ASEAN member state. That's all
My
for
name is
me.
Muhammad Zakmal Bezainal and I will be presenting about suggestion and recommendation for ASEAN Charter. ASEAN Charter play an important role for their organisation as they want to show their identity and their own legitimacy. For the first suggestion and recommendation of ASEAN Charter is providing reward to its members. It means the organisation need to show their support towards their members and to encourage the members in order to develop the nation well, and they also need to ensure that they are having a healthy competition. By giving the reward to its members, ASEAN can attract their members' participation in order to develop the ASEAN itself, and they also can increase the relationship for its members. So the ASEAN can give the reward for the most developed nations between the 10 members of ASEAN, so they can increase the enthusiasm of the nation to develop well and pursue their goal. For example, they can give more support towards the 4 least ASEAN members such as Cambodia, Laos, Myanmar and Vietnam. For the second suggestion and recommendation towards ASEAN Charter is to review the Charter annually.
It is important because ASEAN are facing different problems each year. So they need to ensure that their charter are updated annually related to current issues. It is related to Article 1 of ASEAN Charter, where one of the purpose is to strengthen democracy, enhance good governance and protect human rights. ASEAN need to ensure that all of its members comply with the charter, and if one of them is against the charter, then they will be penalized. For example, the issue of coup d'etat that currently happen in Myanmar, where they are not following the guideline of ASEAN Charter. What they did is they are not protecting the human rights, where they killed a woman who attend a demonstration that she is not carrying any weapon to harm the government. So ASEAN, as a big organization, yes, it is true that ASEAN cannot intervene on internal matters of its members, but they need to ensure that the purpose of ASEAN Charter is to ensure their members protect what has been stated in it.
In conclusion, ASEAN Charter is allowing the eligibility for the states who join the organization to create a form of good administration of states. This means every state that join in ASEAN Charter have the right and clear path to administer their own states without the interfere of the other states. We know that ASEAN members, which states have different type of political system and ideology. For example, Malaysia practice democracy system but different with Cambodia, who practice republic system. But this doesn't show that ASEAN members cannot practice the same rule in the charter. So that is the benefits of the creation of ASEAN Charters, which to allow the eligibility for the states who join the organization to create a form of good administration of states. In addition, its existence of cooperation that will never end between the another states. The cooperation that might arise in when all states that join in ASEAN and bound with the charter may have a better discussion and come out with the brilliant solution. This can be seen when once in a year, ASEAN members need to have a meeting with other leaders from other countries to cooperate in solving the major problems that occur of each state. Other than that, the rule need to be clarified and informed in understanding to the member of ASEAN. When we talk about charter, it means that it is rules that need to be followed by all members. It is impossible for the members to follow the charter if they are not well informed, and it may lead to misunderstanding. At the end of the day, the objective of the charter might not be achieved. That is the reason why no matter how great the charter are, the information need to be spread among all the members so that all the members have a clear vision of the charter. To sum up, in every organization or body, all rules and regulation are the main things to have and be understood by all members. Same goes to ASEAN. The huge organization among the Southeast Asia country also need to have the guideline to create the uniformity among the members. Hence, the creation of ASEAN Charter is the right steps that have to be taken. So that's all from us. Thank you so much. Bye bye.